Hi, good morning, everybody. Joe Van Doren here, and welcome to our Virtues Pick for this morning. I'm excited to share this one because it's one that, we talk about often, but I think maybe we might look at it from a different viewpoint today. But let's read the description first, and because the word that came up for us today, the thing we're going to focus on, is mindfulness. So let's read the description and then we'll talk about it. So mindfulness is living reflectively with conscious awareness of our actions, words, and thoughts. Awake to the world around us, we fully experience our senses. We are attentive to others' needs. We refuse to rush. Living mindfully lightens our lives by helping us to detach from our emotions. We transform anger to justice. We seek joy instead of mere desire. We cultivate our inner vision, aware of life's lessons as they unfold. Mindfulness brings us serenity. So what a great word and what a great virtue to be really focusing on today. And so many things come to my mind. I think when we first think about mindfulness, we also think about meditation, which obviously, is one of those things that can help us in all parts of our life, just to calm our mind down, to give us a steady point from which to live and to look at things. And when we're mindful, what I have found is that we're more focused, and we don't try to multitask and to do too many things at one time. We focus on one thing at a time. And that can be frustrating sometimes to other people because we aren't looking at 10 different things at the same time. But it really is a more peaceful way of living, and a more, it creates more serenity in your own life. But when this word came up today, and I started looking at the description, one of the things that came to my mind is I love this thought here about being awake to the world around us, fully experiencing our senses. Why? The reason that this really struck me is that one of the most one of the easiest ways, let's put it this way, one of the easiest ways for us to know whether we are thinking and believing and doing things that are positive is by the way we feel. And the opposite of that is true also. If we're doing things that are negative, then our senses will have those emotions that don't feel so good. So, for instance, if I'm looking at somebody, even even my own child, and I'm not having a good feeling, they've aggravated me in some fashion, or they've done something that displeased me, that feeling that I have of anger, that feeling of frustration, that feeling of disappointment, that feeling of really being upset with them, is a sign to us that we are not in full harmony with who we really are and who they really are. We're not seeing them the same way that the universe sees them. We're not aware of them in the best light. But when we are living mindfully and we're aware of that kind of feeling and that discord that we have with our true selves, then we can really take a time to, as it puts it in the description here, detach from our emotions, look at things from a more from a bigger picture, and to see the person as they are, the real person, the person who is just lovely, the person who is a good person that has all of the virtues inside of them already. And when we're able to do that, then our actions and our words that come out after that are so much kinder. They're more gentle, and we don't find ourselves reacting in high emotional states. Now, I say these things to you from a place of experience. So I hope that that you can think about a little bit about just how our emotions are a guide to us to whether we're reacting to something in a situation or a person or a personality or whatever, in the way that our inner self sees them, the way a way our source of life sees them, the way the universe sees them. If the situation is not what we hope for, it's simply a contrasting situation. It's something that lets us know what it is that we do want instead of whatever it is that's happening at that moment. But if we allow the things in our life to drive our emotions, if what we're observing in this world is driving our emotions, we're just not going to live a very peaceful life. But if we can see things and be mindful about the suffering that someone else might be having, or be mindful of our own emotions and not allow those to create higher levels of anger, disappointment, or whatever, those right on up, the being annoyed all the way up the scale to rage, right? And instead see things in a state as the universe sees them, with love, with joyfulness, with justice, with a strong desire for serenity and peacefulness. And we're going to treat our children with more respect. We're going to treat others with more respect and dignity and nobility. And so that's, how I'm thinking about this today. I don't know about you. I start each day off with some spiritual reading, with some meditation, and it really does help to help me to be more mindful in each moment of the day. Another little trick, I don't want to say trick, another thing that I do that is helpful is that I'll list out the things that are important to me that day to accomplish, and pick the ones of highest value, the things that are necessary and important to me and to the family and whatnot, and I'll assign some times to that. And that also allows me to be more focused at those times, to be mindful of what I'm doing and really work on just that, and not be interfered, my mind being interfered with all the other things that have to happen too. It's just one of the things that I do, and maybe that's helpful to you also. So those are my thoughts today about mindfulness. How do we teach our kids about this? We have to let them experience it, right? And we have to slow them down sometimes and get them to focus on one thing. And if we can have a time of reflection and prayer, or reflection and meditation with our kids in the morning or in the evening, or both, we can help to slow their mind down a little bit, and help them overcome some of the negative things and thoughts that come into their minds. So those are my thoughts today about mindfulness, and I wish for everyone that we have a day where we're focused on this sort of reflective living and detachment from emotions, and cultivating this serenity and peacefulness with the virtue of mindfulness. So those are my thoughts. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning. And until next time, keep practicing the virtues and the 4 C's of successful families, of clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until next time, bye.